Welcome back, all you plant people. I'm Ben,
I'm Jack.
and today we are going to school you on our top 5 easiest houseplants to care for. You might be wondering what criteria we're using to decide which are our favorite, our top 5. So, number 1 is sort of a general category, ease of care. Is it easy to care for? Is it hard to underwater it? Is it hard to overwater it? We like plants that aren't too picky about watering. Number 2 is insects. Are they fairly resistant to some of the more common infestations like mites or fungus gnats? And number 3 is light. Do they need a lot of light or not? In this small apartment, we don't have very good windows, so we try to get plants that don't need a ton of light. They do much better here.
So here we have our, well, what should I call it? 5th favorite plant? Yeah. Worthia. This one isn't, the tips aren't doing so great, but you can see this is a long flower stem. And if you zoom in here, we got one right here. And this is gonna grow into this. And we know that because it happened before.
Yep,
So
this plant is actually 1 year ago was that little nub right there. So in 1 year it grew from that to that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and also it's a succulent, so it's easy to overwater it, and that's one thing that's not so great about it, why we put it at 5. But it's very hard to underwater. This thing can go like half a year almost without watering. Or maybe not half a year, but they can go for a long time without watering. And this is my top 5.
Number 4, Ficus Benjamina. What a great name. It gets points for the name, but it gets a lot of points for being a super easy plant. Not very picky. Haven't really heard anyone having problems overwatering these. I think that's really hard to overwater them. They don't like to be too dry, but they're pretty tolerant. They can get pretty dry before they start dropping leaves. And they're also very tough. They live a long time. This one you might be able to see right here. Somehow we cracked it or bent it or snapped it, and we put this support in, and it's actually recovered really quite well. This guy's named Mr. Junior, by the way. He used to be Junior. He was about this tall when he started off as a cutting about a year ago. And then he got too big, and we thought, well, Junior doesn't work anymore because he's too big. So now he's Mr. Junior. Ficus, they're really good. They don't need a lot of fertilizer. They don't need a really strict watering schedule, or
Don't use a watering schedule.
don't use. Well, you know, if you've watched our other video, then you'll know not to water on a schedule. But anyway, if I had it to do over again, I might put it in a plastic pot so we could go even longer between waterings. But Ficus Benjamina is our number 4 choice.
So here we have, number 3 on the list. Lucky bamboos. You can overwater these. If you're like one of those people that just can't stop watering your plant, this is the plant for you. It's really hard to kill overwatering, unlike some of the other succulents like Worthia. You can just put this thing in water and it'll grow. You can just keep it in water. Of course, we have some in our dirt, but yeah. And also, you can take propagations. It's not actually a bamboo. It's a variety of the Dracaena family. It just looks like a bamboo. And we've had it for like, 3 years, and it's doing great.
If you're watching our channel regularly, number 2 should be no surprise. This is a Sansevieria. Sansevierias are just great in so many ways. You don't need to water them. If you're an overwaterer person, Lucky Bamboo is the plant for you. If you're an underwaterer person, if you live underwater, this is the plant. No, wait. If you forget to water your plants, this is the plant you need. Sansevieria, it's a beautiful looking plant. It requires almost no water. It has great air purifying properties. I think it's number 4 on the NASA list for air purifying plants. Very easy to take care of. It
releases oxygen at night also.
It releases oxygen at night, which is really cool. Like in its native habitat, this plant, the stomata, open up at night. Because it's in such an arid climate where they're from originally, it keeps them from drying out. So they open their stomata at night when it's much cooler and much more humid. So coming in at number 2, Sansevieria laurentii.
So here we have our favorite houseplant. It's the best.
Number 1.
Pothos. I just bring 2 of them out to show you the variety. You could have a whole house filled up with these and some people come in and they didn't even know they were all pothos. There's so many varieties. This is the Pothos Enjoy. You should check out our video enjoying the Pothos Enjoy for more details on that. And here's my plant. That's what we call it. It's a Pothos. It's a golden pothos. And it has been here for about 3 years. We've had it. It was a dying plant. It was like this big. Like it was dying. We got it for like $1 or something. And in 3 years, it's pretty amazing. It's turned into this. It reaches from the ceiling to the ground. We hang it up, but it looks really cool. They're great. They're good air purifiers. They look great. They come in all sorts of varieties.
Really hard to overwater.
Or underwater.
Or underwater. These plants kind of talk to you. If you really underwater them, they get a little wilty and it becomes obvious. But it takes a long time before they start dropping leaves. I don't think we've ever... Once we
Before we add the moisture meter.
Before we add the moisture.
So for most plants that aren't succulents, we recommend a 3 on the moisture meter scale. That's what we think works the best because, like we said, for succulents like Sansevieria, they need to be dry or they get root rot. Or these, well, they can just get more water. They can soak it up faster. They're used to being in a rainforest, a jungle. So in our last video and now, we're mentioning the mystery plant. We're gonna get, if you haven't watched our videos, we're gonna get a random plant, and make a video out of it. If this next video, the next one, gets 30 likes or more, we will buy a mystery plant and make a video out of it. We hope you liked the video, and see you next time.